Pipettes are used in the laboratory to measure and dispense small volumes of liquids accurately. This video provides a brief introduction in the use of micropipettes, as well as some tips and tricks to watch out for when using them. Scientists use different types of pipettes depending on the volume they need to measure, the accuracy they require, and the number of repetitions. Some pipettes are manual, and others are electronic. At SPARQ-ed, you will use Gilson pipettes. The Gilson company makes a series of these, each with a specific range of volumes that it can measure. You can distinguish the pipettes by the number written on the top of the plunger. A P1000 pipette can dispense liquids of 1 milliliter, which is 1,000 microliters, down to a minimum of 100 microliters. One milliliter is equivalent to the volume of a block that is 1 cubic centimetre. Gilson pipettes also offer smaller volume ranges. A P200 pipette can measure a maximum volume of 200 microliters down to a minimum of 20 microliters. Next, a P20 pipette can measure a maximum of 20 microliters down to a minimum of 2 microliters. The smallest Gilson pipette can measure 2 microliters down to 0.2 microliters. That's like cutting a cubic centimetre block into 5,000 equally sized pieces and dispensing them. In the laboratory, we commonly use the P200 pipette. To begin, turn the thumb wheel until you reach the volume you wish to dispense, as viewed in the side window of the pipette. On a P200 pipette, a reading of 180 indicates a volume of 180 microliters. Now hold the pipette in your dominant hand as shown, with the thumb reaching over the top of the small white ejector button to rest on the plunger. Next, you will need to apply a disposable tip to the pipette. Each pipette's size has a matching size of tip. Sometimes these are colour-coded. Here we are using a P200 pipette with P200 tips. Now depress the plunger on the top of the pipette. Notice there are 2 stopping positions. The first stop is used when taking up liquids, and the second stop is used to dispense the liquid. It works like this. Press the plunger down to the first stop. This pushes air out of the barrel of the pipette. Next, keeping your thumb down, insert the pipette tip into the liquid you wish to draw up, just below the surface. Now slowly release the plunger so that you draw up the liquid into the pipette tip. Place the tip of the pipette into the container you wish to fill. Then steadily depress the plunger until you reach the second stop. This forces a small amount of air out behind the liquid, ensuring that the tip empties cleanly. If a droplet hangs at the end of the tip, touch the tip to the inside of the container. Remember to hold the plunger down until the pipette is out of the container. Otherwise, you may accidentally draw up the solution again. You must change tips between liquids and if it has touched any part of the container. To eject the tip, hold the pipette over a waste bucket and press the small ejector button on the side of the body. Repeat this process for each liquid you need to dispense. First, choose the correct pipette and tips for the required volume. Check the volume and adjust if necessary. Apply a fresh tip. Press down to first stop. Slowly Draw up the liquid by releasing the plunger. Place the tip inside the recipient container and press the plunger until the second stop to expel the liquid. Keep your thumb down until clear of the liquid, and then finally eject the tip. It can take time to get used to using a micropipette. Here are some common mistakes to watch out for. When preparing to take up a liquid, be sure to press down the plunger before putting the tip into the liquid. Depressing the plunger after putting the tip in the liquid could contaminate the liquid with expelled air. When drawing up the liquid, release the plunger slowly. If you release it quickly, liquid will spray up into the tip and could damage your pipette. Once you have expelled the liquid, continue holding the plunger down until the tip is out of the liquid. If you release the plunger too early, liquid will be drawn up back inside the tip. Only adjust the thumb wheel within the range of volumes allowed for that pipette. Remember, it's written on the plunger. Setting the volume too high or too low could damage the calibration of the pipette so that it is no longer accurate. In summary, micropipettes are precision instruments used for measuring and dispensing liquids accurately. With practice, you too can learn to use a pipette confidently and effectively.